Okay, so you've set up your freight broker business. Now you've started to go on your journey to start to get customers to do business with you. And what you're noticing is that there's a pattern developing. Maybe you are hearing shippers say something along the lines of they don't need your service through a variance of different ways of saying that, such as, hey, we're already covered, or hey, our customers are customer routed, which means that the customer is handling their own freight movement. And it's starting to weigh on you a little bit. You're expecting that you're going to get out there and you're going to start offering your services and people are going to start jumping on board. And that's just not how it works, because you're a new business. Nobody knows anything about you just yet. You have to develop a relationship with customers and then earn their business. It's not just as easy as saying, hey, I got trucks. We can help you move your freight. When are you going to start sending me loads? Doesn't work that way. If that were the case, truckers wouldn't use you as a freight broker to go out and get freight for them. They would go direct to shippers themselves. But it's hard to get new customers. It's hard to get new freight opportunities, especially when you first get started, because you don't know how. That is why most truckers rely on freight brokers to get freight for them so they don't have to go through the stressful process of getting freight. They would rather someone else go through that part of it. Now, of course, if a trucker chooses to use a freight broker, then he pays a fee to use that freight broker. A percentage of the load goes to the freight broker for using that particular service. So that is why, or a part of why, carriers use freight brokers, so they don't have to do all of the legwork of getting their own freight. Freight brokers do that work. So it's difficult to do. That's difficult work. That's why your work as a freight broker is so important. That's why we are so, requested when it comes down to services of a freight broker within this industry, is because we're willing to do the hard work of going out and get customers. That's a part of your responsibility as a new freight broker. You must obtain customers. Now, you're getting the responses that you're getting from shippers because sometimes they don't need assistance. They're okay with the options they currently have on the table, and they just don't need your assistance at this time. But then there are other times where they may be willing to work with freight brokers. They may be willing to work with you. But the way that you are approaching that shipper tells them that you are a novice, because you're saying the exact same thing that everybody else says, or something very similar. And it goes something like this. Hey, this is Brandon with Alliance Logistics. We were calling today to see if we could help you move some of your FTL or your LTL freight. Okay? That's a very basic approach, and it gets very basic results most times. So we want to change that up. We don't want to sound like everyone else. We want to use certain icebreakers to break open a conversation with the shipper, so that we can talk to them about what's going on in their business, what's happening, and then provide solutions to the problems that they're having. We're going to talk about some key questions that will help you to understand why you're getting what you're getting from shippers when it comes to how they are responding to you. You need to look at your overall service. And I want to look at some of these questions and give you an idea of what we're going to discuss tomorrow on our Super Tuesday webinar. Every other Tuesday night, we have a live webinar with freight brokers and agents, and we're talking about specific topics about freight brokering and how we can better define our service, how we can become better freight brokers so we can provide a better service to our customers, and of course, earn more responsibility and money because of that. We're going to talk about some key questions, and these questions are going to help you shape and define your service. Why do truck drivers use freight brokers versus going direct to shippers? It's important that we know and understand that. Why do shippers use freight brokers versus going exclusively direct to carriers? You see, we need to understand why shippers actually use freight brokers instead of going to direct to carriers, just cutting the freight broker out. Why are they choosing to go through a third party? We need to understand that, and we're going to talk about that tomorrow night as well. Do shippers have specific requirements for freight brokers? Are you missing something? Are you asking the right questions? Should a freight broker's service be as simple as providing trucks to move the customers or the shipper's freight? Is it that simple? Yes, in a nutshell, it could be, but should you have other things in your service that make you more attractive? Certainly. That's the core of your service, moving freight. You provide trucks to move freight, but what else should be a part of your service? What is the toughest challenge of a new freight broker, or any business for that matter? We're going to dive deep into that, and we're going to talk about that. You should have some clue of what that challenge is right now. What is a freight broker's value proposition? How do you establish that? What is your value proposition as a freight broker? How do you make your business more attractive to customers? You see, it's not just about opening and the people start flooding in. We have to do something to attract the people to our business. In this case, we're talking about shippers. How do you market and advertise your freight broker service? And what is a customer relationship management system? See, the tools that we need to help grow our business, sometimes we don't have those tools just yet. We don't understand how we should use them. So we're going to talk about those things tomorrow on our webinar. We would like for you to share this information with your network. That's all that we ask. This is a free webinar. Just like and share this video to give someone else a chance that may be interested in learning about the freight broker business, and of course learning how we handle these different challenges. See, we're going to be providing you icebreakers, what we do to break open the conversation and allow for a more comfortable exchange with our shippers. And that's important. It's important to be relaxed during our conversation. So we're going to give you something that we use to break that conversation open. And here's the deal. You can take a look at this information, look at it and say, hey, this is something that I think I can use. Grab it and put it in your toolbox. Or you can say, hey, you know what? That's all right. I'm okay. And that'll be great too. But at least come to the webinar tomorrow. Take a look at what it is that we have to say and share with you tomorrow from the experience of a freight broker, somebody who is doing some of the things that you're interested in doing if you want to build a freight broker business, someone who has taken a business from zero to multiple six figures in a short period of time, less than a 5-year period of time. So I think you might enjoy some of the information that you hear tomorrow and be able to implement, not just hear, but be able to implement it into your business right away. So take a look at the description box. We're going to leave a link there where you can register for tomorrow's webinar. And don't forget to like and share this information with your network. Like and share this video. We certainly would appreciate that. So we're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Until that time, see you at the top, because the bottom is much too crowded.